How's it, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another one. I'm your Ish, aka Illustro, and today we are doing something a little bit different. It's really exciting for me because I haven't really designed anything particularly designy in a while. Designing. I've been putting so much time into the rugby portion of Illustro, which kind of doesn't require all that much design apart from the initial stages. It's more when I'm updating the graphics to look a bit fresh and keep it, interesting, that something new is designed. But it doesn't take as much time as, say, what I would normally do. And then the design in my day-to-day job is kind of more corporate and less out there than what I consider to be a bit more free. So I decided to incorporate both design and rugby into one, and we'll be creating the first official Illustro jersey. And I say official because Illustro Rugby is not a club, as you all know. It's a digital kind of solutions platform. But why not have a jersey? When I'm on the field taking photos or creating content and just wearing an Illustro jersey. I think it's a really cool idea, and so I decided to design an Illustro jersey. So I basically dotted down some concepts, Marvel, Dragon Ball Z, Power Rangers, all things that are important to me, but I decided to exclude the Maori patterning that I would usually do for something for myself. It was a big part of the Illustro brand for like a long time. The logo was even a Maori fish hook, and up until 2 logos before the current one, it was very much the most recognizable logo of Illustro. But I decided to kind of do away with the Maori aspects of design and just kind of forge like a new path for Illustro. So I decided on Marvel, which is Spider-Man. So the suit initially was taken from the Spider-Man 2 game on PS5, as one of the Spider-Man suits is known as the Smoke and Mirrors suit. So it's a Spider-Man suit based on the villain Mysterio's suit. And then I took that suit and incorporated it into my jersey design. It's a different colorway from the original as well. You get like alternate skins for the different suits in the game, and the black, white and gold skin look particularly interesting to me, and I decided to use that as a base. So we go from Mysterio to Spider-Man to myself, and then after I had that whole kind of base of the Spider-Man design translated into a rugby jersey, I started going in with the other concepts that I wanted to introduce. The Saiyan armor from Dragon Ball Z, and the Power Rangers concept, which is particularly JDF Jason David Frank's White Power Ranger, the original White Power Ranger. And this is more in terms of color balance as opposed to design for the Power Ranger part particularly. Jason David Frank's White Power Ranger was more, well, you guys would probably know him as Tommy if you did watch the original Power Ranger series, but the Power Rangers concept is more in the way of color balance as opposed to design aspects. So his suit would be more white and gold with black accents, while mine would be more black and gold with white accents. So after I finished getting all the Spider-Man translations done, I started going in and making the jersey a bit more unique. You'll see I add more of these sort of armor platings or arrows into the design, and that is more evocative of the Saiyan armor that Vegeta would wear in Dragon Ball. I specifically added 15 of these gold arrows into the design, and this is something that I do with almost all of my jersey designs for rugby. I add 15 of something in particular to the design so that it represents the 15 players on the field. It's just a subtle thing. It's not particularly an Illustro thing. It's just something that I love doing, but there are other jersey designers that they kind of do it as well if they are really that in touch with the design of rugby jerseys in particular. But here you'll see we go through a few versions and just kind of neaten it up a bit in the sketching stage. Before we take it over to Adobe Illustrator to kind of rectify all those shapes and make all the edges sharp and clean. Vectors are also what most printers would require for production of high quality prints. So this is basically the process of that. But you'll see while vectorizing the elements of the jersey, I do make some changes to the design as well. Here in particular, removing the white arrow that was supposed to represent the unity of the 15 players. I've removed it completely. I think the 15 arrows themselves were more than enough of a visual nod to a rugby team. You'll also see more of that Spider-Man concept come in with the way the arrows are lined out on a flat sheet. It basically looks like spider legs on the side if you're looking at it the way it is on screen at the moment. Then I added in those gradients as well for just a slight color variation in the darker areas of the jersey. I think that's also very important so that everything doesn't look like one heap of ball. I then changed the dark blue that I had initially to get away from the Brumbies vibe to the original Illustro coloring, which is black. And it helps the gold pop so much more, and black and white always really go well together. Then I softened those gradients up a bit so that it doesn't look as harsh, because black and white in particular look very harsh in contrast with each other, even though they're very good together. I then added in the gold gradient, which just lends itself more to Illustro as opposed to the dull gold that we have. And that is basically the vectorization process. The final step of the jersey design process, well, it's not design anymore, this is more for advertising purposes, but we throw all of these beautiful vectors into a beautiful mock-up that was created by me as well. Although you'll see that I have to kind of fidget with it to get it to work for the darker colors, because the last jersey I designed using these mockups was actually the Rangers jersey, and that was much lighter of a colorway, so I didn't have to adjust my highlights and shadows as much as I have to do with the black in my design. Mockup, basically in layman's terms, it's a drag and drop process, because all the work has already been done, so all the warping of these shapes are done automatically because it was done already. That's the only way in layman's terms that I can kind of explain the process of smart objects to somebody who wouldn't actually know what Photoshop is or the intricacies of Photoshop. And you'll see here in the mock-up process, there are kind of steps that I take to make the design a bit more uniform, in adding the gold striping along the edges of the sleeves and connecting it to the chest. It's just a visual touch that, I don't know, it makes me feel very good about how the design looks. You'll also notice that I have left spacings for jersey maker and sponsor logos, and that is purely because if anybody would love to sponsor or is capable of making these jerseys, please do reach out to me. Unfortunately, I'm not looking for a set of 15 or 20. I'm looking for singular jerseys at the moment. But if you are able and you are willing to accommodate the single jersey design, please do let me know, and we can definitely get cracking on one of these. Just a few adjustments to make sure that everything looks nice and neat, and that is basically the Illustro jersey. However, when I finished this process, I looked at it and I loved it for just a few minutes before I decided, you know what, this jersey is missing some Maori design. I took a Maori pattern that I had been using for previous branding of Illustro, and I just threw that in place of the gradient, and I think it just brought the whole design together so much more beautifully. And that is your final design, or is it? So I couldn't help myself. Even though I know this is not a team jersey, I still had to make an away and an alternate kit as well. So the away jersey is basically just black and white being swapped around, and the alternate kit is a full black kit with only gold accents, no white whatsoever, and I think the alternate kit is my absolute favorite. So ladies and gents, what did you think about the first official Illustro jersey design? I'm really hoping to have this made. Please do reach out if you are able to accommodate having a singular jersey design made. I'm really excited. If there are any other jerseys that you would like to see me take a crack at, please let me know. It doesn't have to be limited to Western Province Club Rugby. We are trying to kind of expand the brand, you know. So if you want to see my take on the Springbok jersey, I would absolutely love to give that a go, even though we are all black supporters over here. I would really love to give national jerseys a go as well. I intended to do it last year for the World Cup, but there just wasn't the amount of time that I have right now to do all of those things. But we are in the rugby space now, so let's dabble in everything that we can dabble in. Ladies and gents, this was an amazing video for me to make. I really loved and enjoyed every moment of it. Let me know what you think about the jerseys, which of these are your favorites, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and share this video with your friends. Until next time, we'll see you in the next one.